Hello and welcome back to Nerdy Nerds. Ladies and gentlemen, today it is Fallout Friday, which means we are delving back into the world of Fallout. Now, last week we spoke about the origins of the original super mutants, and I will be continuing that series, but I got something that is fresh on my chest that I want to speak to you guys about. Now, that is about the TV series and how that Easter egg of the Deathclaw is going to be addressed. Now, I'm not sure. I've got my own theories. I think everyone has their own theories and their own wants, but I'm curious what everyone is thinking. So today is going to be the start of that discussion, and I want to give you guys a bit of a glimpse of what I'm thinking and how I think it is going to be addressed, either in Season 2 or possibly in the future. So get yourselves ready, get yourselves comfortable. I'll see you guys in just a sec, and we're going to talk about the Deathclaw. Fallout the TV show Season 1 ended with a big reveal. Not only is Season 2 going to include New Vegas, but it also showed the skull of a Deathclaw, meaning that a Deathclaw, or Deathclaws plural, could be introduced in the series as early as Season 2. But here's why I don't think they will be, and I actually hope they aren't. The Fallout world is packed full of creatures, big and small, but none are quite as iconic for scaring the shit out of you as much as the Deathclaw. Now, there are definitely stronger enemies in the games, but we're talking literal nightmare fuel when fans think of their first experience with a Deathclaw. But we haven't even dipped our toes into the world of Fallout yet, and we're already thinking of jumping the gun with one of their most iconic creatures. So far, we have met radroaches, ghouls, yogwais, and gulpers, as well as some harmless creatures like the Brahmin. But we've also had a glimpse, of course, of the Deathclaw skull, and we've also had a sneaky frame of another iconic creature from the Fallout world, that being the super mutant. In the Enclave facility, we see two people in lab coats pushing a trolley, and on that trolley, if you look closely, you see a hand poking from under the blanket. That isn't just any hand, it has a green shade and looks far too large to be a regular human's. That has to belong to a super mutant. Now, you can't have Fallout without the super mutants, and we know they're going to be introduced sooner or later. But with the Fallout series being based in Los Angeles, it's actually home to where the super mutants were created. And with Shady Sands being a clear focal point of both the first Fallout game and its destruction being another focal point of the show, we know that Vaults 31, 32 and 33 are at least within a small distance from Vault 13, the original vault from Fallout. Meaning that we could potentially see some of the original super mutants that we know would be the most intelligent of their kind. And with Hank McLean taking his newly acquired power armor to New Vegas, this is even more of a possibility, as we know the original super mutants migrated east following the events of the original Fallout game into the New Vegas surroundings. And during the events of Fallout New Vegas, we met these super mutants at places like Jacobstown and the state of Utopia at Black Mountain. So I think we can confidently assume that intelligent super mutants are likely going to be included in Season 2, as the location calls for it, and with how the strip looks, it might be safe to assume even more fighting has occurred between the factions that exist around there. Maybe even inviting opportunity attacks from super mutants from Black Mountain, depending on what the show considers canon from the games, and if Tabitha is still alive and losing her marbles. But where does the Deathclaw come into this? Well, the Deathclaws are scattered around the Mojave Wasteland, but they do have places they're known for being. And they are Quarry Junction, Deadwind Cavern, Deathclaw Promontory, and the Gypsum Train Yard. None of these locations exist on the west side of the New Vegas map. And judging by the entry point of McLean in the finale of the Fallout show, and what we know of Los Angeles being west of New Vegas, we can safely assume that he is entering from the west. And considering how close he is to the strip in the image, it seems he isn't far from it either, so I'm going to place him around Red Rock Canyon, which means he shouldn't naturally cross paths with any Deathclaws, but there is obviously the space of time that has passed. We don't know if any Deathclaws have repositioned and made new nests elsewhere, maybe along his path. But going off what we know, I would say he is closer to Jacobstown and its super mutant Nightkin population than he is any Deathclaws. So in conclusion, my assumption would be, if we do see a Deathclaw, we may see a baby Deathclaw, and if we for some reason see a mother Deathclaw, I believe it will be either as an end of season cliffhanger, or they'll keep it for Season 3 and give us super mutants and other smaller enemies during the events of Season 2, and of course, the further exploration of how the Enclave fit into this storyline. Either way, I want the Deathclaws to be treated how they were treated in the early games of the series. Almost as a myth, that people didn't know if it was real or legend. and it needs to be built up to the point of anxiety, or treated almost as a horror figure that is unbelievably dangerous. Maybe have people reference it at the strip in Season 2 as a demon that comes and kills in the nights, something that will make the hairs on your neck stick up. The Deathclaw has almost lost its scare factor in recent games, like Fallout 4 and 76, almost like it's been nerfed and less dangerous for players. But the TV show needs to re-implement its ferocity. That's the only way a Deathclaw can be introduced, otherwise it'll be a huge waste, and I think the show writers know this. So I'm putting my faith in the writers to utilise Deathclaws how they should be used and introduce their legend long before the physical thing. Ladies and gentlemen, that is all for today. Thank you for joining me, and let me know in the comments what creatures you want to see introduced in Fallout Season 2 and what your thoughts are on the introduction of the Deathclaw. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers!
If you enjoyed that video, why not subscribe?
If you enjoyed that video, why not subscribe? It'll help me and Natty continue to do the work that we're doing, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Thanks!